let me tell you a little secret. I have to admit that when I first found out about the Hozo Design NeoRuler digital scale smart ruler, I was a bit skeptical. I thought it was a solution to a problem that didn't really exist. I mean, people have been measuring things with various devices, even hands, feet, and forearms, since the beginning of the human race. Could adding some bells and whistles improve upon the simple ruler? Stay tuned and let's find out. I'll show you what this device is, what it does, and why it's so revolutionary. Hi, this is Steve DeMasi, and welcome to Uncharted DIY. Let's rewind just a bit, and we'll unbox this ruler and its optional modular accessories. All right, well, to start with, I love the packaging. This is nice and solid. Shows you what's in there, and it's a great package design. Let's just undo this here and see what we have. Okay, it includes a quick start guide with a lot of pictures on it and a lot of very clear explanations, a USB-C charging cable, and the ruler itself. When I first saw the pictures of this, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. Looked like it might be kind of fragile, but just feeling this, it's got a nice weight to it, very solid. There's no shaking, rattling, doesn't feel plasticky or cheap. This feels like something that's really gonna hold up well. But let's take a look. Wow. Yeah, it's a solid looking device. This looks like it won't bend, it won't break. The device itself is really clean and simple. It's just got 3 buttons on it and a little screen and a USB-C charging port. So let's start by turning this on by holding down the triangle button for 2 seconds. Now, I have to admit, I'm somewhat of a technology geek, and this is pretty cool, the way this lights up. And it's very smooth feeling. It's pretty slick. Okay, so before we get into the various functions that this ruler actually does, let's take a look at some of the accessories. We'll start with the NeoRuler drafting kit. So these are pen holders. We've got one that is a 0.8 millimeter and then one for the 1.2 millimeter. And what this does is it replaces this little pointer. So we've got a couple little different attachments here. And to switch them out, you press forward and it snaps off. So we take off the original pointer and we can slide on the new one. And this allows you to put a pen tip down in there and actually draw using this. So as you're drawing, you can watch and see exactly how many millimeters or what measurement you're supposed to be reaching to, and then stop right there. Then we have the reading kit. This has got a pointer module and a magnifying module. Looks like the pointer module is the same as the one that came on the ruler. And then you have a magnifier, which is pretty cool. It's got a little crosshair in there, a little precision indicator. And when you slip that on here, that makes it much easier to see exactly where this is pointing to. This is nice for real precision. Okay, so those are our pointer kits. Let's take a look at the collection case to protect this with. Okay, looks like we've got 2 pieces here. The smaller case here looks like it holds a drafting pen or pencil and the replacement modules. These just kind of push into place here. This is nice and handy. You don't have to lose these or carry these boxes around all the time. So the ruler itself just kind of snaps in here. It's got a magnetic attachment, and the cover is also magnetic. And it's got a little slot cut out here for your pointer so it doesn't leave dents and it doesn't keep the cover from closing all the way. Then the accessory kit attaches magnetically. Just drops into place there. and closes on top of it. This makes for a nice little tidy carrying kit. It's got a nice kind of rubberized texture to it too. Feels really nice. And the final accessory is a caliper kit. So you can turn your ruler into a caliper. The packaging is very tasteful. The instruction booklet showing you how to attach it. This is nice. This is machined aluminum. Feels extremely precise. And it's got a little screwdriver kit in here for attaching it to the ruler. From looking at the features and listings of the caliper kit, it wasn't very clear to me that it's super quick and easy to attach and remove after the first time you add the kit. It turns out that after swapping out the standard end cap for the caliper end cap, it only takes seconds to convert from ruler to caliper and back again. Now that we've seen the ruler and some of its optional accessories, let's take a closer look at how this actually works. The controls are really simple. To turn it on, all you do is you press the triangular button for 2 seconds. If you get a calibration notification, all you need to do is slide the slider to one side and then back, and then it's calibrated. Press any button and you're ready to measure it. Okay, so let's go through the various functions. The first mode here is ruler or caliper mode. The second one is for customizing the scale. So we'll do that in a minute here. This is the one for division. And then the final mode is the setting mode. First one is caliper versus ruler. If we click on that, we can then set it for caliper instead if it's set up that way. But we'll put it back for the ruler. Okay, this setting, you can control whether it's high performance. In the normal mode, the ruler will shut off after a certain amount of time to save on battery. But if you put it into the performance mode, it basically keeps it on the whole time. So this is great if you don't want to have to pick it up or recalibrate it. If you're just going to be using it quite a bit, you can go with performance. Otherwise, for the longest battery, just go back to the normal. The next setting is your scale setting. This final one here is just the status about the ruler, and it shows you what version of firmware you're on. Now, I love this display. It is so crisp. I'm sure the camera isn't doing it justice, but if you could see what I'm seeing, it's super sharp and crisp. It's really easy to read and high contrast. Really impressed by this screen. Now, of course, it can perform a basic measurement, but with extreme accuracy of plus or minus 0.1 millimeters. That's about the thickness of a piece of printer paper. It reads in metric and imperial, switching from millimeter, centimeter, meter, inches, and fractional inches. That alone is pretty cool. But wait, there's more. If you've ever had to scale plans, it can be difficult. When it's a round number, such as 1 inch equaling 20 feet, you can do that in your head with some effort. But what happens when you have a really difficult ratio, such as 1 inch equaling 27.65 feet? When it comes to scaling plans, the NeoRuler rules. It has 93 built-in scales distributed in 8 scale modes. But what's really cool is that you can create infinite custom scales. And using the companion app, you can save and load your own custom scales for any project. So let's try out this scale function on an example. Say, for instance, you need to scale the Starship Enterprise plan so that it fits your 3D printer. Well, let's see what scale we're going to need to scale it to. Now, the secondary hull is not going to fit on a 230 millimeter bed platform. So what we're going to do is change the scale so we know what size to change this to. To do that, we'll go into the custom mode, which is this one. Okay, currently our scale is 1:1. And while this is highlighted, let's hit select. And it actually tells you here, measure the first drawing length. So on the drawing, let's measure the secondary hull from the front to the back. It's 261.22. Let's hit select or enter. Now input the actual length. We'll hit enter again. And here we get a numeric entry. So I'll scroll over to 200, 30. There we go. And our custom scale is going to be 1.14 to 1. Continue clicking through. And when it says done, hit enter. Now that's our custom scale. As you can see here, it changed the measurement from what was 261, I think. Now it's 230. So it's in the proper scale. Now, anything else that we measure will also be in that proper scale. My favorite function for DIY is the divide function. I often have to divide a measure into a number of segments with equal distances, and this makes it so easy to divide between 2 and 12 sections. And they change as you alter the distance. All right, so in the division mode, let's say that I wanted to divide this support pylon into 4 equal sections. The way to do that would be to press the center button here and then press the square button. This is where I can choose whether it's going to be in millimeters, centimeters, inches, or millimeters. Let's go with millimeters in this case. And then when we press the square button, it brings us down to the 10, which in this case would be 10 divisions. We can scroll through with this set button. We need 4 divisions. Press the triangle button to accept it. Let's get that lined up, the very first one here. And when we draw this out, you can see that between each of these blue dots, there's 4 equidistant sections. This eliminates so much time and brain damage from calculating all those distances. It's great that this can be used completely without having to use the app. But if you do use it, it's got some great useful features. So let's take a look at the app. We can go to the setup icon, connect to device. We have to turn the device on. Say new. There it is. It's that easy. Click NeoRuler and we're connected. Then we can go into NeoRuler, and here's kind of your control panel. Looks like we've got a battery icon. As you can see, we can name our ruler. I'll just leave it as NeoRuler since I only have the one. You can create a new custom scale. So to do that, measure drawing length. You can select whether inch, millimeter. Let's go with inches. Say next, and we'll draw the length. Let's try the communications dish here. There we go, 1.54, and we want to scale this one to say 3 inches. Okay, and we're done. And next, our new scale is 1 to 1.95, and it saves it for us. We can also select standard scale settings. You can scroll through those. Let's just go back to metric architecture. We can change the rotation of the caliper, which flips the display 180 degrees. We can change the power setting, and you can even change the color scheme on your display here. There's one with purple called Cyber. Coral one is kind of nice. And those are the settings. All right, let's create a new project. You can draw floor plans. You can just keep a data list of different measurements that you've made, or you can select photo. Let's try that. Enterprise. All right, let's take a picture. Now with the photo on the screen, we can set our unit. Let's set that to millimeters. And then let's draw on the screen. So let's measure from here to here, which is the sensor array. And then we can measure that on the real plan here, like that. And then press the center button, and 38 millimeters. Then we can measure from dome to dome. Let's draw a line. Press the send button, and 82.7. I don't have time in this video to get into all the features of the app, but this gives you a good overview. So even though I was skeptical of the need for a smart ruler, now that I have one, I'm a believer. The engineering is impressive, and the build quality, the attention to detail, and the precision is amazing. I love the modular accessories, which allow me to use it for so many different purposes. The dividing feature is one of my favorite functions, and the ability to use it as a caliper is a huge plus for me. This NeoRuler is so much more than just a ruler. It's a powerful tool. If you use the type of functions that I've shown, I think the NeoRuler is a great value. The ruler itself normally retails for $129. The reading and the drafting kits are $19 each. The caliper conversion is $49, and the case runs from $29 for just the case, or $59 for the case plus the accessory tray. The great news is that during the Black Friday sale from November 16th to December 16th, Hozo Design is offering 20% off of everything. If you're an architect, engineer, designer, creator, 3D printing and modeling enthusiast, or a DIYer, this can save so much time and effort, and it's definitely a great addition to your toolkit. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below, and hit that like button so YouTube will share this with more people. This is Steve, and thanks for watching Uncharted DIY.